What's good? What's good? We are live with another Listen to DP segment. I got my boy Justin, Will, and Devin. Hey, man, we got a lot to talk about. We had a great Super Bowl matchup, a lot of ups and downs and everything else.
Dang.
49ers ended up taking the L. And what I want to talk about is Mr. Kyle Shanahan. How do we view him now? Is he a choke artist? Is he a good coach? Has he been surrounded with a good GM and Lynch that's put good pieces that has fit him? Because let me read some things off for you real quick. Teams to hold double-digit leads in the Super Bowl. Kyle Shanahan, 0-3. Every other team, 50-3. Kyle Shanahan offenses on third down in the 3 Super Bowls. First one versus the Chiefs, they were 3 for 12. The second one versus the Chiefs, they were this past one for the Chiefs, they were 3 for 12. The first one for the Chiefs, they were 3 of 8. And versus the Patriots, they were 1 of 8. That's 7 of 28. That's 25% in the biggest games of his life on third down. Being a mastermind on the offensive side of the ball. Also, when the Chiefs were down, Kyle Shanahan 3 consecutive drives in the third quarter. Pass, punt. Pass, punt. Run, pass, punt. Also, overtime, they went pass, and got bailed out.
That was 3 and out.
Defensive holding.
3 and out.
Defensive holding call, yeah.
Weak call.
What is up with Kyle Shanahan in Super Bowls getting pass happy? Think about it. That's how they lost to the Patriots. You just started throwing the ball the whole time. You could have just kneeled the ball and ran the clock out.
Yeah.
We'll start with you, Devin. How do you view Kyle Shanahan and what is – and mind you, hold on. Let's go back. He's also had a double-digit lead and lost the – I believe it was the NFC Championship game
to the Rams.
They were up 17-7. So that's another double-digit lead. How do you view this man?
That's a tough one, man. When you put the numbers out there like that, it does make you have a cause for pause a little bit. If you ask me, he's still a great coach, and I'm just gonna be honest with you. You got to be a great coach in order to get your guys there. You mentioned John Lynch. John Lynch really only has a job because Kyle Shanahan went out and got him, honestly. I think a lot of that, don't get me wrong, I think Lynch is doing an amazing job, but a lot of the guys they're getting is because, of Kyle. And I really feel like he's an amazing coach. He's just had some moments that have just been legendary letdowns, if we're going to be honest. I think with the Patriots one, legendary letdowns, man. Now, I think in regards to the one with the Patriots, you are kind of caught in a little bit of you should be running the ball, but then hey, we got to kind of do what got us here type of thing. But ain't no way you're supposed to lose a lead like that. Ain't no way. I don't care what the situation is. Ain't no way you lose a lead like that. Then when we look at the first Chiefs Super Bowl, I will tell you they're one throw away from winning that game. I don't know if you guys remember Jimmy G overthrows Emmanuel Sanders. And if he drops that one in the bucket, they win that game. Again, it's an if, but if he does that, they win that game. This last game, I did think they got a little pass happy. They were averaging 45 yards a carry. They should have been running the ball a little bit more. I think the main issue is they didn't turn those threes into touchdowns. And if they could have turned some of those threes into touchdowns, I think they win that game when you put a little bit more pressure on Pat. So can I take away from his legacy? It's hard, man. It's hard for me to say, hey, he's just a bum coach now, because I can't say that. I think
and let me, before, not to cut you off.
Yeah, go ahead.
Are we taking away from his legacy, or are we just taking away from what we believe him to be as a good coach? Because he don't got no legacy, right? What's the legacy?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
he just got 3 NFC championships.
Are we just critiquing him to be as good of a coach because I feel right now
genius is a legacy, man, in my opinion.
You
don't need a ring now, but legacy.
Yeah, like I said, and like I said, I understand like there's a legacy, but is it really like I said, a legacy?
It's not cemented. It's not cemented. It's not cemented because he doesn't have the ring. I will say that. Yeah. I do feel like you don't need the ring to necessarily to necessarily validate you, but I do feel you needed to cement you. You know, that way it's not even debatable. And I really feel like with him right now, he's not in danger of losing a job. He's not, and then you look at his coaching tree and all that kind of stuff. He has so much going for him right now. It's easy for us to throw some little pebbles at him. But at the same time, I think that he has made, again, some legendary letdowns, man.
I can't Mike McCarthy off the bridge for that man.
What you got? What you got, Will? What you thinking? How you feel about what's been going on with Shanahan over the years?
You know, we get into some of it online, but for those who don't know, man, and you know, I'm a coach as well. I'm also an OC. Look, man, I love what Kyle Shanahan does. Did he mess up? Yes. And the coach is a head coach. He made some fatal errors. There's no excuse for not knowing the overtime rules. I know we're going to get into that. I know we all got to touch that. There's no excuse for that. As far as the game itself, just like he was talking about that whole thing with Emmanuel Sanders and Jimmy G, Purdy missed a lot of throws too. He dirted some throws that could have kept drives going that caused them to punt it or kick a field goal. And that was throughout the game. And I think sometimes we get caught up in what we call the moments at the end of the game. But if you hit the moments in the middle of the game, that changes the game too. Like he missed the dude. He threw it out the back of the end zone when he had a touchdown twice. And they were NFL open, as we like to say. A whole step, 2 steps on the dude, just drop it in the bucket, like you said. And that happened multiple times throughout the game. And then I think it's also telling, and I guess I can go ahead and just say what I'm saying because I'm getting at it. I blame Purdy way more than I blame Kyle. Y'all know that. Way more. And some people try to I think, and here's why I can't be too upset with Kyle is because Kyle has been giving away his credit to Purdy all season.
Yeah,
He's allowed this lore that he's an MVP and he belongs up there with the Mahomes.
No, he doesn't. Yeah.
But that's been even though us sensible people who know football enthusiasts who know that's crazy, they just look at the record and they're like, well, he threw for more yards than in Kyle's offense that makes it so easy.
Yeah.
Literally, Jimmy G didn't have yards because Jimmy G is worse than Purdy. But if you just be accurate, just be accurate to open guys.
Yeah.
Wide open guys. If you can hit them, you can run Kyle's offense. If you can not panic on the blitz and just make your reads and just throw an accurate ball, he's going to be open. That's how good the offense is. It's so brilliant. It's like the Love offense, the Packer offense that killed the Cowboys. It's just an offshoot of his. It's from his tree. That's murder. When you see tight ends running wide open like nobody within 10 yards, that's Shanahan all day. And like I said at the beginning when we were transitioning, I would kick Mike McCarthy off the highest mountain. Hey, I will repent later. I'm kicking him off a cliff. You'll have Shanahan in the morning. And that's what it comes down to me. If they really want to sell us on this whole, we blame Kyle thing, because I really think this is all the 49ers PR team doing what they can to protect their quarterbacks. PR. Because if this was Cowboys, we ain't doing
Dak.
We'll talk about Mike for a second, but we're going to make sure Dak holds this L for making us the whole game plan. Think about it. We killed Dak, but we play through Dak. If Dak ain't playing real good, we suck. We done. We're done about that. They played through everybody else except the quarterback. Throughout the season, we gave him all the credit, labeled him a legit MVP candidate. And then as soon as they lose, you want to go ahead and heap it all on the dude who makes him playable in the first place. I wish Kyle would leave. I know it's not going to happen. I wish Kyle would walk in that office and be like, if I'm the problem, fire me. Fire me if I'm the problem. Because if you think you got everything but a competent coach that can get you over the hump, it seems like a simple decision. Let him go.
Question for you, Will. Question for you, right? We said we'll kick McCarthy off the highest hill, highest mountain, highest bridge. What is the difference between McCarthy, especially when his offense first started? Obviously, he had Rodgers, right? We got to give him that.
Yeah.
But remember, when they first was rolling, their offense was the thing, right? Until it became a dinosaur. So I want to know what's the difference between what McCarthy was doing when he left Green Bay.
When he left?
By the time he left Green Bay and what Shanahan is doing now, because the only difference I see is McCarthy actually got a Super Bowl. Because when he was in Green Bay, they kept getting to the number 1 seed and losing an NFC championship game. But McCarthy actually, at least, which you have Rodgers, but you still was going. You
already know. You just told me the difference.
My thing is, everybody teams that win don't get to have a Rodgers every time as well. So I'm saying, what's the difference? Is at least one guy got it done.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah.
So,
but like I said,
do you think
with Rodgers
at some point they start?
I can't let that one go because it's Rodgers.
Yeah.
It's Rodgers. Mm-hmm. It's sort of like if we think about these last 5 years. Does anybody else remember that before Pat, Andy was one of those ringless men?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He was one of them we talking about, but he got the most gifted quarterback of all time, and now he's a 3-time champ. And Andy, I knew he was great with the Eagles when he kept disappointing my goddamn Cowboys.
Yeah,
I had to watch him be great. So
Andy took a lot of heat.
The ring to tell me that he was a consistently great coach because with McNabb he made it. He just didn't finish like you said. And like Devin said, the fact that he's been that many times is all you really need to say as far as legacy. How many offensive coordinators in this league all time can even say they've been to 3 Super Bowls, been part of the Super Bowls, even as coordinator, even as position coaches, going to 3 Super Bowls in any context? That what do they say? It'll get you a sold out camp in any city in the country.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? So that's what I mean as far as him having a legacy. But I do think that it takes away.
No, he definitely has a legacy. And when I said that, obviously he has a legacy. But I'm in when I asked,
you mean like the difference between him and
more towards legacy? I'm like, are we taking away more of his legacy, or are we kind of picking at his coaching ability? And you know what I mean? Like,
I think as a head coach,
you know what I mean?
Head coach, he's really stained himself as a head coach. I'll say that because of the decision making, because of the overtime thing. That's unacceptable. And then it doesn't help that the Chiefs come out with an interview. Man, we had meetings about it all week. I'm like, God
terrible. We'll get to Justin, then we'll get to that overtime stuff and what's been going on. So what you got, Justin? How you feel about it?
Oh, man, I'm right there with Will. I mean, as of right now, Shanahan does have a legacy. Like you said, going to 3 Super Bowls, that's legit.
Incredible.
Whether, the ultimate goal is to win them. But just being there, that's legit right there. That puts you on a pedestal a lot higher than a lot of coaches that's been coaching throughout the history of the league. Now, as far as like his guy he took with him at quarterback this year, I'm not a believer. I've been saying it all season. This guy is a game manager. Through Kyle Shanahan's offense, he can. You can make plays like when Will and Devin was saying, hey, if you got somebody who can be 75% accurate, they're gonna look good in the offense. So it's not. I wouldn't really place. I would place a few blames on Shanahan as far as with the play calls. That was out of control. You know, you got to finish the game out. Yeah. But also the overtime rule, like you got to have your boys prepared. You can't just go in there. Just trying to pull a Campbell when he went for all them 4th downs for the Lions. So you got to have a game plan. And it seems like they went in there. Seems like the 49ers went in there like, hey, we've been playing well all year. We're expected to win. We have our guys. But, hey, they didn't have shit. So,
they didn't have it in the most important position.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can't really, I can guarantee the 49ers they're gonna at least be in the NFC Championship game again next year. But you got to think about with Brock Purdy, will they be able to make it to the Super Bowl again? Will they be able to win? Because they have every other player in motion. Everybody's at the right positions. But once you get, is what you gonna do with Purdy? Because Purdy, he looks good in some games, but it's the offense. Because when you really need him to get out there and make some really good reads, he makes those damn elementary school reads that's already drawn up on the damn playbook. So until I would say if you get you a real deal quarterback and somebody you're not paying $890,000 to for the year, then that's when they win the Super Bowl.
They already fighting. They ain't good in the offseason yet. That team already fighting.
He about to catch a bag though.
Check this out. So let's transition over to preparation because everybody's talking about preparation and them not knowing the overtime rules, right? So that's another big mistake. Failing to prepare is preparing to fail. Right? Yeah. So check this out. Everybody's thinking overtime, not knowing that. And then, like I said, it sucks the Chiefs. We've been talking about that since week 1. And then we got to the Super Bowl. We had 2 meetings on it. But check this out. I seen an unprepared team the whole playoffs. They should have lost to the Packers. They should have lost.
Lions hopped on that ass.
And I kept telling everybody, people was asking me, I said, this team feels like the Eagles. You keep skating by until you don't skate by no more. And I think that's what's getting rushed back is a Kyle Shanahan led team was unprepared every round of the playoffs. They looked nothing like they did when they were all healthy during the regular season. So what is it about Kyle when it's time to be that guy? Why is his team's lacking in critical moments and then game planning for him? Like, you shouldn't keep getting from behind with the offense, that you have. The defense you have. Why are y'all so far behind? Why are y'all so slow? Even with how this game panned out, their offense looked bad this game. Offense didn't look good at all versus the Packers. Offense didn't look good against the Lions. Y'all ain't playing the Ravens. Y'all ain't playing the old Steelers. And you know what I mean? Old Legion of Boom defenses week in and week out through this AFC. There's some good defenses. The Lions aren't world beaters. The Packers aren't world beaters. The Chiefs have played good, but they've been able to get gashed by the run. Why was your offense so shaky throughout the whole playoffs? Why was your team not prepared throughout the whole playoffs and then into overtime? You can take this one first, Justin.
So I really feel like how they played all season. They played. I don't feel like they were prepared. You know, they started losing some games towards the end as well. I don't feel like they've been prepared the whole season. They just played. The other team made more mistakes than them, and they were able to capitalize off some mistakes. But as far as like, especially when they got into the playoffs, they weren't prepared. But that's why they almost lost twice. But the thing was, they didn't just make as many mistakes as those other teams. Now, you got to think about it when you have so much talent on a team. As long as whoever makes the less mistakes gonna win, especially if you have a high-powered offense, some dogs on defense. So I mean, I really feel like Kyle Shanahan, I think he felt he knew his players that he had in the positions and probably got a little cocky how they played against people earlier in the season, in which, failed for him to realize, hey, let me get my team, even more prepared. He was probably thinking, hey, we got the talent. I already have these playbooks here. We're going to just keep, how I used to say in our high school, the old Coach Payne offense. Hey, this shit has been here for 40 years. We're going to keep running it.
Like no
he's going to work.
Just like that.
You get what I'm saying? But hey, he had the playbook in motion. He thought he had the players. I mean, they should have been well more prepared for the games.
And them boys looking like some big front runners right now.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, we were all gonna say it because that's exactly what I was gonna say.
Y'all all basically throwing Kyle under the bus. We didn't know the rules. I found out looking at the Jumbotron. The other dude drunk calling his teammate out. Kittle. The script writers did a good job. Y'all looking like some front runners right now.
They look like the Cowboys with more talent.
Facts. They out there.
To be honest, they look like the Cowboys with more talent than with
all on the
worst
court.
quarterback.
Eagles lost last year, and all them boys stood tall. We should have did more. Don't blame the field. They played on it too. Hey, Bradbury said I shouldn't have put my hand on him.
I shouldn't have put my hand on him. Yeah.
All these boys cried the whole time. What you guys
the whole way home
thinking about the preparation?
I do think that Kyle is good at preparing his team. All right, because I don't think you get that far without being great at preparing your team. I do think that there's an issue of not for the overtime rules. He came out and basically said that, hey, my coaches knew the rules, but we didn't feel the need to dictate that to the players. And I think that was totally crazy. I don't know why he said that.
Who said that? Wait, this interview?
Yeah, he said that today. And then he said that when overtime hit,
that man fell on his sword.
He asked all the position coaches to relay the overtime rules to the players at that point. So Purdy said that he got the rules based off of his position coach, Brian Greasy. So that's how he got the rules or whatever. So I do think that's a little bit late when you got a team like the Chiefs.
You in the middle of fire, bro.
Yeah,
Exactly. In the middle of fire.
Yeah.
Like
so
you actually played the game.
Yeah, like I think that's totally crazy there. What I think the deal is, especially with just that team as a whole, I think we all know, right? Sometimes you need to be able to get film on certain guys. And I think they finally got the film on Purdy.
Yeah.
They finally started breaking him down, what he's good at, what he's uncomfortable at. And I think defenses kind of knew what to throw at him. I think that there's a lack of adjustments on Kyle. When things do start going a certain type of way, Kyle's still trying to stick to what he's doing, and there's no adjustments happening. I do think he's great at preparation. I think the adjustment's something that we got to figure out.
Well, then in that case, if his team's prepared, that's one thing. That means he's not prepared himself. If you can't adjust, that means you're not coming in with enough game plan to be able to figure it out. So that's fine. So the team's prepared, but that means you're not prepared.
You're not prepared.
You have no adjustments.
And see, then too, and looking at, he also explained his decision making again regarding him taking the ball first. So he said he felt like, hey, if I take it first and we go down and get a TD, then they come down and get a TD to match it. Well, then I get the ball last and I can go and get, a field goal, whatever, to win the game. Yeah. He explained it and it made sense. I still feel like when you got that man over there on the other side, you got to know who you're playing against. And when you know who you're playing against, bro, you don't know if you're gonna get the touchdown or the field goal.
Yeah, but saying it's not like y'all. It's not like this game is a 35-35 game. Y'all y'all
it's a rock fight
to move the ball. So why are you assuming that you're about? Because you should have went 3 and out.
Yeah, facts.
You're making it seem like they were just running the ball. And anyway, the Chiefs understand that as well. Because guess who's prepared? Andy Reid. And guess what Patrick Mahomes said? We were going for 2 anyway. Because we know y'all would get the ball and we would now a field goal wins it. Prepared teams understand. We get the ball first, we need a touchdown, stop them. We get the ball second, we're not giving them the ball back. I'd rather just take it on a 3-yard play than hope that they don't get in the range and kick a field goal. Preparation is key. Pat said it. We was going for 2 at least for the touchdown. Because we knew the rules. What you got, Will?
As far as the OT rule, well, we can get on the first part of the question. Look. As far as preparation goes, that whole team was unprepared in that last one as far as the adjustment side of the game is concerned. As far as throughout the playoffs, I don't think they weren't prepared. I think in the Packers, what they ran into is a team that comes from that tree, so they understood the offense a lot better. Just to put everything in context. And then the Lions, Dan Campbell's boys came out playing fired up, and it wasn't the offense, it was the defense that got put on the heels early. They got their asses busted. And I know it's because his name keeps popping out in the media, we're saying Kyle. Kyle is not the defensive coordinator. That's just like I was happy that Quinn was gone because of how he let my Cowboys go out there and get scored on 3 times in a row. That was on was that Wilkes?
Wilkes.
Yeah, that's on Wilkes. That's on Wilkes to go out there and allow the Lions to go out there and just score like they got the weapons that you do. Just score like, dang, they just punching us in the mouth, poor tackling. That's on Wilkes. That's all
I will say this though. The Lions do got the weapons like they do, though. They tight end is very comparable.
Yeah, that's true.
They got the better number 1 wide receiver.
St. Brown.
And if you told me I had to take Gibbs over McCaffrey, I'd be like, okay. So I'm not saying that across the board.
I ain't saying that now. I ain't going that.
Yeah, super explosive.
I ain't gonna lie. When I watched him on that same field, Gibbs was running at a different speed than everybody else in that whole game.
Hey, he a rookie though.
I love
he a rookie. He ain't got the hits on him yet. He ain't got the hits on him yet.
Don't get wrong. I love Gibbs.
So that's if they can put it on. He too fast. Like Chris Johnson. You remember back in the day?
Yeah.
Hey, I love Gibbs. That damn CMC, man.
Monster.
Yeah, that's a cold ass man.
You know what I'm saying? Right now, I can't think another running back.
And I'm not saying now career, but if you just have to
be
like,
I'm talking about for that one game.
Like,
for that one game, same roster for roster, I do not want to trade CMC for Gibbs. I just don't.
Yeah.
But if I could take that explosiveness for that one, but CMC, man, they went off. But and as far as adjustments, this is the reason I mentioned Purdy in the first place. You're playing around your quarterback. You're not playing through him. So Kyle is already making adjustments, just making the offense work to begin with. Think about it. Your first touchdown in that nip and tuck game came from throwing it to a receiver who then throws it to the running back.
Yeah.
It took that to score it all.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and then after that, when you finally get a passing touchdown, you had to run it all the way up here, and then did something, drop a little something quick. But you weren't able to depend on the guy who matters most in every offense.
True.
To be the fuel. So when you put that on any coordinator, and that goes back to what we talked about with the whole McCarthy versus him, then you take Rodgers away, it's just different. It's just different. And then, of course, time caught up to him, and we got tape on McCarthy, and like some of the offensive stuff passed him by. But, he had Rodgers in those moments. If he had Purdy, he would have 0 rings.
Mm-hmm.
You keep Donald Driver and everybody else that was on that team, 0 rings of Purdy is the quarterback. You know what I mean?
Purdy just ain't got
right
it.
now, Kyle hasn't had a true, you know what I mean, as the head coach anyway. Now, some of that, like I said, Falcons, damn, I don't. Hey, we haven't got.
There's no excuse for that one.
No.
You just got to get 2 first downs in that whole second half.
Yeah, just run the ball,
Yeah,
man.
that was
ball. Just run the gosh darn ball.
Yeah, that was horrible.
But preparation, Jesus, man, it looked bad. That overtime thing, like you said, all the PR was bad. The fact you didn't know was bad. Y'all's explanations were bad. I didn't even hear that last one. That's a terrible thing to say out loud.
Terrible.
That's as bad as our
because the players are even going to move in a certain way and with a different urgency that they know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm thinking maybe if I stretch the ball on this one, it's not worth it, but maybe it is, or maybe it's not. If I know, I'm thinking different. Should I stretch it or not? Right?
Yeah.
Should I do this? Should I stay in bounds? Oh, I'm staying in because I'm thinking the overtime. And once it ends, we got to keep. No, you could have not took the hit. So there's different plays and ways you're going to play if you know the rules. That's why you need to know the rules because you're going to play according to the rules.
Yeah, on the overtime one, actually, I didn't even get on that. On the overtime, I know I did what he did, and like we said, man, he's playing because he trusts that defense more. It's really that. Even though like it was hard for them to score, it was just as hard for Kansas City to score.
Yeah,
and he's thinking if we can just get hell. And here's the thing, Mahomes is gonna be good either way. He's great in these moments. Period. So the pressure wasn't gonna necessarily affect him. Purdy, he's looking at his quarterback dirting balls and doing all these wild throws that he didn't see in these other games. And he's like, I don't want it to be that Mahomes scores first and gets a touchdown.
Push that pressure.
And now Purdy, all the pressure, you have to score. Damn the field goal. You have to get a touchdown or we're going home. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't want that on Purdy. So he's like, if we go out here, I believe that we do have the weapons. You don't never know what happens. He'll break one, Debo will break one, and a lot of good stuff can happen. We have a ton of weapons on offense.
Yeah.
Let's go try to score first and then put it on Mahomes to do all that extra stuff they talking about going for 2 and all this other stuff. But first, they got to get a touchdown. And then our defense can get on the field. The same way you would want your quarterback to go out there knowing what he wants. He felt the same way about the defense. It was reversed. He was like, I want my defense to get out there knowing if we can just stop them from getting a touchdown. We have the talent in Fred Warner and all these boys up front to go ahead and shut them down from at least. We can do that one time. If we got the gas to know it's all on you. We got more closers on defense. Our quarterback's not that closer. And
the only reason why I don't like it is because you don't want that extra pressure.
Yeah.
But when you flip it, you give the worst quarterback one less play for the drive. And you give the better quarterback one extra play for the drive.
And that's the other thing to weigh out.
To know when I tried out here, I got 4 plays just to go get a field goal.
Now
he's like, in Mahomes' mind, there's no world of, we don't at least get a field goal.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So, like I said, the confidence and pressure is tough. But the Super Bowl pressure is also just tough with it being the game. And I just don't like Purdy getting 3 plays to Mahomes' 4 plays.
Yeah.
And think about it. If Mahomes gets 3.
The math is pretty bad either way for Purdy.
Andy's maybe thinking another thing of, okay, let's just kick the field goal. Right? Just kick the field goal because let's say it's third, because they had a lot of 3rd and 7.
Yeah.
Or whatever. So let's just say, dang, it's 3rd and 7. You can see him doing this and handing it off and just trying to see if we get it close. We might go for it. You stop him, we got to kick the field goal because we don't want to throw a pick and then not score. So that changes how Andy Reid is calling plays. So everything's 2020. But I just know when it came down to that, I need my guys, if needed, to get 4 plays to the better guys 3. I can't switch.
In the end, they got him in striking distance, though.
In the
end, they got him well within striking distance.
But we know that was with a grain of salt of you should have been off the field.
Oh, yeah. But I'm just saying, like,
the sack should have came and nobody picked up McCaffrey. Down there. Like, that whole drive was manufactured by Chiefs' mistakes, right? So,
hey, we'll take that too.
Yeah, like I said,
he had a shot.
We could go on and on about this, but that was a good game, man.
That was
I think that Shanahan will really be kicking himself to know that Patrick Mahomes had 9 yards passing in the first quarter. They did nothing on offense, and y'all mustered up nothing to get that lead more than what it was. When those Chiefs, I'll end it with this. When Pacheco fumbled, if y'all do what y'all are supposed to do from that moment on, y'all win the game. The Chiefs was unraveling.
They was unraveling.
Punt. Mahomes was kind of like, guys, what's going on? Kelsey's over there with Andy Reid going off. If y'all score on that one,
choking them up.
Over. But yeah, man, a lot of things could have changed, but that's a part of sports. That's a part of life. Stuff happens. But
Taylor,
we'll finish that one, man. But if you haven't liked, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're live on Facebook, on the personal page, on the business page. We're live on X/Twitter. We everywhere with it now, man. Y'all show love. Y'all keep commenting and making sure that you're getting with your friends, family, and letting them know to jump on board, man. We out.
Yeah. Let's get